Hi guys, this is Jeff at Slavens Racing. This video is about my new favorite front tire. Yeah, you heard it right. My new favorite front tire. I'm just throwing it out there. I've had customers, local customers and other guys around the country and employees and everybody else wanting me to release this video and divulge what my testing has come up with. And so here it is, you know, it's the Bridgestone X31 Battlecross front tire. This is a 59, the old gold standard. This is X31 with some miles on it, a new X31. This is an 8100. This is a 9100 and a 9100. I've been looking and testing front tires for several years, trying to find something better than the 59. Why? Because I'm always looking for something better, and there's always ways to improve a product. So the 59 is a fantastic tire. That's this one right here. I've been using that tire for, I don't know, at least 20 years, probably 30 years. And I absolutely love it. But the the shortcomings on that tire are that it's in our conditions here in Colorado, which are extremely rocky, rooty, ruts, extremely hard pack, that's about a 200-mile tire for me. And after that, the side knobs start chunking and the carcass wears out. And by that I mean the carcass just breaks down and gets flimsy, and then then you have to add, increase your air pressure to maintain the same level of feel. Don't get me wrong, I still love the 59, but I love the 31 that much better. It does everything better. It's got more braking traction. It's got more turning traction. It's better in the wet, in the wet rocks and roots. In Colorado, we don't really get deep mud conditions like guys get in other parts of the country. When it rains here, the trails usually get better, but some of them get kind of sloppy. But it's only like an inch deep. And then, of course, there's always the slimy roots that like to throw you on your head. All right, so over here, guys, this is the 59. This is an X31 with some miles on it, an 8100. This is a new 8100. This is a 9100, considered a fatty, a used one, and this is a new 9100. All right, and so we've got a lot of these X31s out there. I'm not the only one that does the testing. So how we do that is we've got a couple other guys in the shop that help with testing. We've got several guys around Colorado that help with testing. And then we've got a couple of guys in other states. And I review the feedback from all of them. And then we also listen to what the customer says. Guys that are just buying these off our website. And we listen to their feedback. And then we compile all that and look at the similarities and the differences in the responses. And bottom line is all of the testers love the 31 better than the 59. All of them. So, and I think I already mentioned it, that a lot of us have gotten 400 miles on these front tires, which is a hell of a lot for no matter what brand of tire you're using here in Colorado conditions. And the side knobs were still intact. The tire was worn out, but the side knobs were still there. They weren't torn off. And you can see I've got my tools up here. This is, my fish scale for weighing it. And by the way, one of the best things about the 59 that makes, one of the things that helps it handle so well is that it's lightweight. It's the lightest, I think it's the lightest front tire on the market. It's about 8.5 pounds, and these new ones are 8.75 pounds, so basically the same weight. You start putting heavy tires on your bike, and it really just detracts from the handling of the bike in many areas and for many reasons. All right, up here we've got a durometer. I always test the softness of the tires, and the X31 is about 5 points softer. So it's not a gummy by any means, but it is a little bit softer, and I think that definitely helps in the rocks and the roots. I got my tape measure down there, a yellow piece for measuring the rollout, and I'll put the rollout specs, the weight, and all that stuff on our website pages for each tire. So something interesting you're going to see when you read those rollout specs, and that is when they're inflated, they actually have less rollout than when they're deflated. So the tire is actually taller when it's deflated than it is when it's inflated, when it's got air in it. And the reason that is, on this style of tire, you can see how narrow and pointy this tire looks. And that's because when we get them, they're in these, I don't know, 100 of them on a pallet or so, and they're banded down tight, and so they're all squished together. And then when you put air in them, they kind of spread out. Rather than get taller, they spread out and actually get shorter. And I've measured that several times just to confirm it, and that's the way it is. So you'll see specs on our website that will seem confusing, but it's reality. So puncture resistance. This tire's got a little bit better puncture resistance, not a lot. We took a new one and cut it in half and did the same thing on an N59, and it is a little bit beefier construction, not by a lot, but it's definitely noticeable. So that's why the puncture resistance is a little bit better. We test these, we always test with tubeless, so that we can control the air pressure and try different air pressures to see if the handling, the sweet spot where it handles the best. And 12 PSI is what we run them at. That seems to be the sweet spot. So that's what I'd recommend for you. Same sweet spot for the M59, I run those at 12. But guys, I can't say enough good about this front tire. I've been testing it for about 10 months, I believe. I've tested it in our conditions here near my home, which are usually dry, slick, pea gravel type conditions. Tested in those conditions when it's wet, which that pea gravel improves dramatically when it's wet. I've tested it really all over the state. Some parts of the state are even rockier than here. And and then other parts of the state also have some black dirt. It works well in all those conditions. It's not a sand tire. We have very little sand in Colorado. If you want a true sand tire, you need to get something that has a taller, wider spaced knob, that's made for sand. But for a very versatile tire like the 59, this tire is fantastic. I can't say enough good about it, guys. It's an excellent tire choice. Try it. I'm sure you're going to like it. And like I mentioned before, all of our testers are pretty unanimous in their decision on this tire. We've finally got a decent supply of them on the shelf. It's taken us a while to get some. The suppliers, the vendors have been, I had supply issues like everybody else. All right, guys, I'm kind of rambling here. Sorry, I'll move on here, but please get out and ride. Please consider this tire. It's an excellent choice. We've got them at a fair price. We've got them in stock. And while you're out riding, please be kind to the trail users. And please like us on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Throw us a bone when you can. Give us a shout out once in a while. Send us in your pictures of riding. We always like to see those, and we'll post them for you on our Facebook page. And I think that's about all for now, guys. Get out and ride. Number one thing to do, throttle therapy. That's all for now.